Okay, welcome back. What we're going to do this afternoon is go through Active Trader. And the first thing we do is we have Active Trader up here in the upper right corner. And the way to get to it is you see these vertical menus here. We're just going to click on Active Trader. And that brings up Active Trader. And I'm going to bring it more full so we can see it much better, like so. Okay, so this whole area is Active Trader. Let me get my vanishing thing out. So all this area is Active Trader. Okay, the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you have buy, ask, and sell bid up here. And the way that you get to that is here on the gear, right over here. Let me show you the gear. There's the gear right there. And you pull the gear down. And this way you can create custom menus. So what you want to do is you want to add buy ask over here, add item, and then bring this down to the bottom and sell bid. Okay, that's going to help just with one click in and one click out. In fact, most trades you won't even have to do a one click out, because if you set up a template, you won't have to do it. But anyway, this is what we want set up on here. We're going to say, okay, so we want to have buy ask, sell bid right there. And we want to click auto send up here, up on top. Okay. So now we've got Active Trader somewhat set up. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we need to be able to access the option chain inside of Active Trader. And the way to do that is this. We're going to go up here to where it says SPY. We're going to put in QQQ, like so. We're going to pick Invesco QQQ. All right. Then we're going to come here. We're going to click on it again. We're going to go to options right there. And then in the enter symbol right below that, we're going to put in QQQ again. We're going to pick the first Invesco QQQ Trust Series 1 ETF. It's the first one on top. We're going to go back to here and back to QQQ, and we're going to reselect on the bottom Invesco QQQ Trust Series 1 ETF right there. Now, the option chain is now located within Active Trader. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to close the 14th because we always trade the next day. We're going to set our strikes to 14. Now, if I want to load in the 462 call trade, I go to the 462, I come over here, and I click on it, and now the 462 strike is loaded in, and I can even see the chart for the 462 right there. Okay. So once again, to bring in the option chain into Active Trader, first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset it. I'm going to reset everything. Okay. Let's bring this over and down like that. Bring this over. There we go. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to collect on Active Trader. All right. We're going to go to the gear right there. We're going to make sure that we have buy, ask, and sell bid, because it defaults to sell, ask, buy, bid. So you want to make sure that you come over to the left side column and you select these and bring them over. The first one is on top, and the sell bid is on the bottom of that little menu. Bring that in, okay? And this is all you need on here. I'm going to say okay. Now that portion of Active Trader is set up, so you can do one click in, one click out. But I'm going to show you how to set up templates as well, so you can basically put a trade on auto. Now, again, we're going to make it so the option chain is inside of Active Trader. We're going to go up here. We're going to go to options. First off, we're going to put QQQ in there. All right. This is how it's normally set up with QQQ, but that's just trading the ETF, not the option. So we're going to go up here. We're going to select options. We're going to put in QQQ right there. We're going to select the top Invesco QQQ Trust Series 1 ETF. We're going to go back up to QQQ and pull down this menu this time and select the bottom Invesco QQQ Trust Series 1 ETF. And that then brings in the option chain into Active Trader. Now I'm going to close the 14th because we're trading the 15th, and I'm going to change the amount of strikes I can see to 14, like so. All right. Now, if I want to load in, let's say the 463 put inside of Active Trader, I'm going to go here and put that in. Okay. If I want to load in the 462 strike call, I'll go here and load that in, like so. Okay, that's how you load in the individual strikes. Now, you could create more than one Active Trader if you wanted to just leave one for calls and one for puts, but I think there's plenty of time between each of our trades, and I give plenty of warning on to what strike we're going to use, that you can change it with one Active Trader. Okay, now the next thing is we want to set up a template. Now, Active Trader has a number of templates: single, OCO, one cancels other, trigger with bracket, trigger with 2 brackets, trigger with 3 brackets. Okay. And that plus 20, minus 30 is a template I already have in here, but I'm going to show you how to build one. So let's say we want to create an automatic trade that has a limit of 20 cents and a trailing stop of 30 cents. We'd come up here under template. Let's select trigger with bracket. Okay. Now it brings up this little menu up here. So first off, we want them enabled. Let's just say we're only trading one contract. The trigger, just leave it on trigger. That's fine on both of those. Now, the top one is the limit. You can see it says limit. So what we want it to be is plus 20. So we're going to go plus 0.20. Enter. It's very important you hit enter so it puts that in there. So now the limit is set at plus 20. See, when I come down to the green column here, you can see where the trigger plus 20 follows my entry. Okay. Now on the stop, we're going to go minus 0.30. Enter. Now it's set with a stop for minus 30. And you can see it when I come over to the bid or the green column. This is where you would get in if you were actually going to click on the if you're just going to click on the green column to get into a trade. This is what you would do. You would see the trigger for plus 20 and the trigger for minus 30 stop. Now that stop, what kind of stop do we want to use? Let's use a trailing stop. Okay. When you hit trailing stop, you're not going to see the trigger for it until you get into a trade. All right. And then, of course, time in force will be day. So it's just for today. Now, the last thing you need to do is come over to the this little icon here. It looks like a floppy disk and a document. Want to click on that, and now you can name this template. And what I do is I go plus 0.2, comma, minus 0.30. That tells me exactly what that template is made up of. All right, that is saved. Now I can go under and I find it here, plus 20, minus 30. Okay, I have two templates the same. Now, let's say we want to create a trade with two brackets. Okay, now we have two brackets, and we can set the offsets on each of those and put those in and save it. You can also make a trigger with three brackets, so you can give it individual limits and stops. You can give it three different levels of limits and stops. Pretty cool. So in order to recall that template, we're going to open this menu. Let me just set it to single. I'm going to open the menu, and I'm going to go to my plus 20, minus 30, minus 0.30, whatever. Each one is both the same. And that brings it in. And this one has a trailing stop and the other one doesn't. So this is how you use Thinkorswim. I mean, it's how you use Active Trader. Now, we're ready. If you wanted to use this template, now you're ready to. And when we get to a good trading point, we're going to, like right now, we would probably load in the 462 on the put side right there. And notice that the price is rising because it's a put. So it's going to demonstrate it as a rising price instead of a dropping price, which is what it's actually doing. And when we're ready to make that trade, we just click buy ask, and that trade will go in with those parameters. Okay. That's all there is to it, guys. Is there any questions?
Yeah, this is Keith. One of the things I have found also is you cancel the order, it defaults back to single, so you have to go back and select it again.
True. Now, there's a way around that. If you go into setup, application settings, let me bring this over. So you go into the user setup maintenance window, which is under setup. And what did I say? Setup user maintenance window. If you go to Active Trader, if you deselect reset AT order template after sending, it will keep the same template in there. You also, on Active Trader, you can set this to submission rate to 0 and the auto center to 3 for its fastest, so it moves its fastest. But it has these two radio buttons under here. One, auto send AT order on down click, that's fine. But deselect the reset AT order template after sending. And that way you can avoid having to redo the template each time. I'll just apply settings. Okay.
The other thing I have found, Tim, is you're setting up the option chain for this. I only need to, I don't do the queues like you did a bunch of times. I go straight to the option tab and enter queue there, and it automatically loads my chain. So I only have to do one step.
Yeah, for some reason, I can never get it to do that. I don't know why. I know that I've had people advise me on that before, and for some reason, Maybe I'm just dumb, but I can't seem to get it to do it in one shot. So anyway, it do, if you can do it in the one shot, that's great. You're probably smarter than I.
The other thing is, when I first, after we just saved this template you just made, or we just made, when I open it up, the default limits are $1 still. I don't understand that.
The default limit is $1.
Instead of the 20 cents and the minus 30 cents.
Oh,
I don't know why. As soon as I click on your Tim's thing again, it shows up correctly, but that was a weird one.
huh. I'm not sure. I haven't experienced that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Anyway, I always just open that window just to make sure that everything's set up the way I want it before I'm at a time crunch and need to place an order.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely. Good stuff, Keith. There any other questions? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.